Betsy Holmes, and I'm going to be sharing with you about the power of giving. In doTERRA, we have an amazing opportunity to be able to give and be generous in a way that we probably never imagined. I know that's true for me. My story started 9 years ago, and when I was shared with a drop of essential oil, it changed everything. It's unbelievable how many miracles can come from just one drop of essential oil. Giving is a wonderful way to celebrate others, to show gratitude, to fulfill needs, and to show others how much you love and care about them. When I shared a drop of essential oil with one of my leaders many years ago, I was actually a little bit nervous because I didn't want to give up some of my oils that were helping me. But in the end, I went ahead and filled up a sample vial and gave it to my friend. It changed her life. It changed her baby's life. It changed her family's life. And now she's a presidential diamond in doTERRA. Just that little sample vial, that little act of giving and serving someone else, even when you may think you don't have enough for yourself, actually goes a really long way, and it actually invites you to receive so much more. Since I was able to share with her and so many others, just giving drops of oil everywhere I went, I saw so many lives change, and I realized that I was making room in my life for even more. When you're giving, you're asking for more. And actually, receiving is one of the most important parts of giving. If you don't learn yourself how to receive and be open to compliments and gifts and people being able to listen to you and spend time with you, then you're unable to give that much more. When we think we're just giving from ourselves, we run out really quickly. But when we're open to allowing things to come through us, good gifts from above and from the earth, we're able to give people something that they can really hang on to without depleting ourselves. I love being able to give essential oils to people because I know that that drop is going to speak louder than any words or anything else I can do because of its ripple effect. doTERRA became a catalyst for us to kind of shake up where we were at in our understanding of giving and generosity and what that means. Because it opened up the floodgates for us to provide for our own needs, we were able to receive that and turn it around and increase how we were able to give and where we were showing up to serve in the world. It was one of the greatest honors to raise funds for an orphanage in China or to help an orphanage in South Africa or a battered women's shelter. We were able to show up in ways that we never imagined because we invited abundance in. Sometimes we think we just don't have enough to give, but in truth, everyone has everything that they need. So if we change our mindset a little bit and just tweak it, we can be in a position and a place where we're open to receive for ourselves to have enough to give to others. It's like a well being full. Every time that you take a bucket down that's full, you're able to take another bucket back up. Sometimes people feel a little bit scarce because they want to protect what they have. They're afraid that if they give, they lose what they have. But I think the opposite is true. The more that we have open hands, the more that flows through. So it's an open channel to receive. And again, I can't say it enough, receiving is the most important part of giving. Some of the best ways that we can give is through our time, through listening, through service, through giving a friend a back rub. You can give by monetary support, of course, and you can also give gifts like sampling essential oils. This time of year, I would encourage you to be open to allow good things to come through you, no matter which way it is that you choose to give and serve others. You can also have open hands with great discernment and boundaries with whom you're giving to and when. Giving and gratitude also are so important together. They go hand in hand. When I'm sharing an essential oil with someone, I'm thinking about and being grateful for the person on the other end who grew that plant or the people who processed the materials to make sure that we have the most pure, potent essential oils. I'm grateful for the company that set it up that we could have such powerful and efficient and effective essential oils. And that gratitude is able to increase my ability to negate any fears that I have about giving and abundance. And so I love telling people about the way in which the path to giving is to always be grateful for what you have. And in that, just the knowledge of where these essential oils came from and what the work, the blood, sweat, and tears sometimes that goes into making it possible for us to have these gifts of the earth. That is one of the most astounding benefits, is to be connected to people all over the world for these miracles to happen, and to be able to share those miracles with other people is just one of the most amazing gifts to receive. One of the ways you can express gratitude is also honoring the value of these essential oils. I used to give away lots and lots of essential oils until I realized that I was depreciating some of the value for others. So I like to give samples and I like to give gifts, but I don't take care of everyone's needs all the time because I want them to also have an opportunity to realize the value of essential oils, of what they're receiving. And so I love to share with them about how they too can get the same discounts that I get and the same opportunity for points and all the wonderful gifts that we get through becoming a member. So you don't have to give a lot, but just one drop can really create miracles in someone's life. Your mindset about giving will dictate whether or not you are able to experience the full power of giving. In closing, I want to share a story. My husband and I were in church one Sunday morning, and he felt a nudge to give groceries to someone. And we didn't really know who, but we had some sort of feeling about a person. And I was a little nervous to approach the person about helping them with their groceries, especially because we were in need of groceries at the time. It was one of those intense moments where I really needed some faith to boost me up because it was a challenge and a little bit of a leap of faith, but we felt really good about it. So we agreed together to approach the person and ask them if we could buy them some groceries. And of course, this person looked fine and everything looked fine in their life, but when I approached them, they were in tears about it because they were actually needing some help. I was so moved by it and so grateful to become a part of helping this person and their family. And I realized that we would be fine. I knew that we would be fine. And in that little story, somewhere in there, someone else was thinking about us. When we returned home from grocery shopping for the other people, someone was waiting in our driveway with a gift card to a grocery store just for us. So if you're feeling like maybe you don't have a lot to give, or maybe you're a little nervous because you're afraid to let go of something that you might need, it's okay. But through faith and through really believing that we can change another's life with open hands, I believe you'll open yourself up to receive so much more. I hope that you'll find in this season a time to give in a way that might challenge you or that you never imagined. You'll be reaping the benefits for a very long time.
Hi, my name is Sara Janssen, and I live outside of Austin, Texas with my husband Matt and our 3 girls. And today I am so excited to talk to you guys about nurturing your team. As you grow in doTERRA, you're going to start to attract other people to you who want to do the business. And you're going to have to guide them along the way. You essentially become kind of like their mom and dad in this journey, and you stick really close by them. And I really think of my team as my family. And that's why I love coming to events and seeing them, because it feels like a big family reunion. And the best way to create that family feel on your team is to really just nurture them along the way from the very beginning. How many people make up a team? You and one other person. So when you have even just one person on your team who wants to do the business with you, you can start to implement these things that I'm going to tell you and really start to create that culture. It's going to feel like a family along the way. When you are growing your team, you want everyone to feel seen. You don't want them to come into your team and then fall into the black abyss of doTERRA. You want them to come into your team and feel like, wow, this is a special place. This is different than other places that I've been. You want them to really know that you care about them, you love them, that you know what's going on in their business. Because when people feel seen, they're gonna stick around. The reason why people come into something like this and then drop off is because they don't feel seen. And when they have things come up in their life, like things do, they don't fall away because they have their team there to lift them up again. People love to feel like they are a part of something. And it's so important to be able to pull them into the mission of doTERRA, because that's what really does make us special. We have such a bigger mission, even outside of these bottles of oil. We really have a global mission. And it's so fun to come together and be able to work on this one thing where all of our motion, all of our movement is going one way, and that's to really heal the world one drop at a time. Okay, now I want to give you some practical steps that you can use along the way to help nurture your team. The very first thing you need to focus on is consistency. You definitely don't want to start doing these things that I'm telling you and then quit for 2 months, and then start again, and then quit again, because your team will feel that. They follow your energy, and they're going to model whatever you're doing. So whatever you decide to do to nurture your team, make sure you do it consistently. One of the best things that we did for our team in the beginning was we started having weekly calls. And we did it over conference call for a while, but then the Zoom platform came up, and you may use something else, but any sort of video chat where you are able to see their face. That's so important, especially for new people, that they can jump on a screen and talk to you about what is going on in their business. So we've done all kinds of different calls for all different kinds of ranks. We've done special topic calls. We love to feature people after they've hit a certain rank or a big milestone in their business and have them share the things that really help them get there. But anytime you can bring your team together on the screen where they can feel like they're in a living room together, having a cup of tea, just talking about their business, it's going to create more and more unity. And that is so important. So after you have talked with them on the screen, don't forget to go out to your team and actually show up for them where they live. Depending on if you have a local team or maybe you have built your team all over the country or even all over the world, it's really important to get there. And there's so much value in showing up, helping someone teach a class, or showing up and helping them lead a new leader into their team. And if you can do that, if you can make that a priority and really be consistent about showing up for your team, they will feel that, they will model it for their people. And getting them to events is so important as well. So you're showing up for them locally, maybe traveling to them. We actually traveled in an RV around the country. So as we were building our business, we would just drive our house to the next person, and we would hold business trainings and we would do classes there. So that worked really well for us, and I know a lot of people have started to do that, but I know that's not an option for everybody. So there's airplanes, there's cars. Get yourself to them as much as you can and get in front of them. And as we have events around the country, like convention and post-convention and leadership, make sure that you put a high priority on getting your team there and really showing up with your team emotionally. We've always said that it's just so important. It can change everything in your business when you get to those events. So promote that in your team. Don't just be an announcer. You have to promote it. Really get out there and get your team fired up about the value that those events can bring to their business. Something that we've done on our team is we hold a retreat every year where we gather everyone from wherever they are in the country, and we get together for 3 days over a weekend, and we just learn together and eat together and really spend time away from daily life and distraction, just pouring into personal development and learning more about the skill sets in this business. And I want you to know that if you are just starting out and you maybe are not going to have a big retreat every year, just ask yourself, how can I get my people together where we can focus on just loving each other and helping each other along? Even something as simple as, a power hour at a coffee shop, getting your people together for a weekend, just at a little cabin in the woods, just pulling them out of that daily grind. They can get distracted with that and get them around their people, and you will see such a change. And lastly, recognition is one of the most important things you can do to nurture your team. You need to lift up your team as they achieve every new milestone. And when I say every new milestone, I mean that. Celebrate everything. Celebrate everything. If they have their first class, if they enroll their first person, if they hit a new rank, all of those things can be celebrated in a small way, in a big way. It doesn't have to be the same every time, but again, it goes back to you seeing them and seeing where they're at along this journey and really being able to, show their peers what's going on in their life as well. It's so important to share what's going on with your team, with each other, so that they can cheer each other on. That's part of that family atmosphere, right? So a lot of times I like to bring people onto a Zoom chat or onto a video call and feature them. It doesn't matter where they're at in their business. If they have something exciting that happened, if they say they hit elite, get that person on a video and ask them, well, what happened? How did you make that happen? Maybe somebody enrolled quite a few people in 1 month. Get them in front of their peers and share what they did. One of our favorite calls is Think Like a Diamond. And we have all of our diamonds who hit that rank share their journey and share what they've done to get there. And usually there's a few tears shed, because it is such a fun thing to look back and see all the ups and downs in their business, but that they persevered. So celebrate everything, love your people, gather your people, show up for them, really see them, nurture your team.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Jean. It brings me so much joy to be here with you today via video, connecting from my heart to yours on a subject that I'm super passionate about, and that is building your doTERRA business upon the foundations of love. I get so excited about this because all of us here are so naturally inclined to lead with love, to really listen to the song of our heart, and to touch lives from our heart to theirs. So here I am, wanting to reach out to you, just sending you a little love over the airways on ways that we found super helpful and utterly, joyously uplifting to create our doTERRA business. We all absolutely love our essential oils. We find it so easy to just connect in heart and share from our hearts these precious gifts from the earth. And I would love to invite you to serve your team, your growing team, wherever you're at with that, from the foundations of love in this way. So let me ask you this. When someone is before you and they're sharing their story with you and they're letting you know some of the challenges that they're experiencing, where do you go with that? How does your heart feel? For most of us, we usually begin to feel or think of an essential oil or product, maybe the supplements, that we really feel will support them. Now, as your business grows, when someone sits before you and they share with you the challenges that they're experiencing, maybe some of the stagnation, maybe they grew really fast and they're feeling really lost now because nothing's progressing. Maybe they're growing super slow and they're judging that. Where do you go with that? How do you connect with them? How do you help them to overcome those challenges? When we come to a point in our lives and in our businesses where we stagnate, where we feel like we're at a halt, it usually is a great reflection of us no longer believing in ourselves. So I invite you to take them on a journey back home to their hearts and to self-belief. It's really important for you as their leader, as their mentor, as their guide on this journey, to believe in them. To believe in them and love on them hard, right? Really connect with your heart. And when they believe in themselves, keep on believing in them, because they will hit those little speed humps in the road, those challenges that come up. And each time they come across them, they'll learn to navigate them maybe that much more easier. Maybe they'll stay in that stuck place or that contracted place a little shorter period of time, because their belief, their self-belief is growing. Their belief in the product grows every day. Every day that they're using it and they're anointing themselves with the essential oils, they're taking the supplements, their belief in the product and in turn the company ever expands, ever grows. Now what we'd love to do is deepen their connection with themselves, their belief in themselves, and in turn, their belief in their growing teams. Your team needs to be watered, needs to be loved on. So you want to water it or shower it in love, yeah? The sunshine that every plant needs is the sunshine of your smile, of your words of affirmation. I really love to send love messages, and it might be a quote that really resonated with me that I feel will help to maybe click something in place for them. When we listen to their challenges, you listen to the story as it unfolds, you listen to whatever it is that's keeping them in a contracted place, find something that helps expand them again. Now, it may be an essential oil that they swipe under their nose, that they anoint their wrists with, that they place over their heart center and maybe say an affirmation with. It might be something that you watched on YouTube that you found so uplifting, a song that takes you to a whole different place. These different anchors you can send to them to create a new anchor for them in their memory space that they relate to expansion. When you build on the foundations of love, it takes vigilance. It's one of the most simple things in the world to do. As I said earlier, well, a lot of people would ask me, how did you grow so fast? Where did you get to this place? How did you get to this place? And I would just say love. I loved on them. I grew on love. It was like part of them didn't want to hear that. Part of them wanted to just kind of turn from that. It was too simple. As humans, we complicate everything, right? I'm going to remind you of this. We complicate everything. This is the most simple blueprint you can grow yourselves with, your team with, your doTERRA business with. When we join together with others in the energy of co-creation and we align with the divine, i.e. that part of us that remembers, our higher intelligence, when we align with that and show up for that every day, to show up to serve, right? Serve ourselves, serve the higher good of all concerned, alchemy happens. The miracles come in. Things start to come in that we didn't even dream of. When you are going for those bigger ranks, like rank is the currency in doTERRA, right? And you're expanding into the bigger ranks. Now, any rank is a bigger rank if you haven't been there before. So it could be executive, it could be elite, it could be that big dance to diamond, that expansion into blue diamond or presidential diamond. Can you be vigilant enough to stay in your heart place? When we place to serve the higher good of all concerned, right? So when you're expanding into ranks, the temptation can be there to just place them wherever and fill volume. Now, I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it because it's your business and you need to do what resonates with you. But I can tell you something from my heart to yours. Every time Paul and I choose in on placing where that person, if they were to wake up, would feel joyous, would feel expanded, would feel connected. If they were to wake up, they would flourish. Every time we ask that question, we place that way. I feel like we and they and the part of our tree that they are placed in are rewarded deeply. We've had times where we've been in a big expansion place, like Blue Diamond and Presidential. I can think of two really clear examples. And oil sharing kits came in. So it was substantial volume. And we asked that question. My husband did know the answer of where they needed to go, but he was like, babe, can we put them there anyway? And I was like, well, honey, if they were to wake up, where they would flourish is here. And that place over here was actually, done. That was beautiful. The volume was there. We didn't need to place anything else there. Over here was where we needed it. And we still chose to place them there. A couple of things happened. A, they did wake up because they resonated with those people and the activity in that leg, right? That was so resonating and joyous with the types of classes that were going on, the type of people that were in there. They absolutely loved it. And the second thing that happened, which was like that gift of grace that happens when we lead with heart, was that oil sharing kit was replaced with not one, but two came in. So that really served, right? When you show up to serve the higher good and you have that belief, that faith in yourself in doing this, and that vigilance I spoke about, when you're really mindful about this, the gifts keep coming. So as you build on the foundations of love, you'll start to find that you want to reach out to people. You'll send them little love messages like, hey, I was thinking of you. How are you going today? Or I read on Facebook, you and your little one aren't doing so great. Are you open to me suggesting something that might really help you on this part of your journey? Something that's really supported me through that, right? Whether you are supporting people in your tree or you are supporting to touch people to help invite them into this beautiful life with products that transform lives, you will find your whole life expanding. Listen to their hopes, their dreams, their story. And equally listen to the hopes and dreams and stories of those you are co-creating with. Know their why, know their passions, know what motivates them. Place those dreams and visions, those whys, those motivations, heart songs before you, so that every time you go to take that leap together for them, which ultimately serves you, you grow together. You create a powerful legacy. We are here to bring the hope back. We are here to transform lives and to touch lives deeply, to connect in heart. And this to us is the way of the soultrepreneur. This is walking the path of our heart. It takes courage. It takes boldness. It is super simple. And I would just invite you to be mindful of what serves the higher good every day of your life. Because as you show up to serve for the higher good of all, you show up to serve you in the best way you can. Be the leader you want your leaders to be. Create a legacy built upon the foundations of love. Thank you so much.